So these limitations of old style formatting so made us to think about a new style formatting. So how a new style formatting works? Same like this, but in a slightly different way. So what problems it is addressing is mainly the data types. So one solution I told earlier is the same thing, right? So if you have any problem with the data type, you replace everything with a string format. So that is what it has taken into picture, the new style string formatting. And if I take the new style formatting, in new style formatting and old style formatting, the difference is very simple. In new old style, you take like quotes, percentile, and give the value. Whereas in new style, you take in braces actually. Flower braces we take within that. Because like it's a markdown, it is happening so. Okay. If I do like this, you can notice it. And similarly, if I have some values, also you can notice the same thing. If I take like say any number of braces I can have, stated that they are like a page. If I give one brace, it will take like this. If I take two braces, so braces also will come, and like you are not getting anything, right? So and like if you take like this, it will do. But the good examples I can give is like this. Say, see here, if I had two braces, no matter I'm just taking a placeholder, it can be anything, it will execute. So similarly, if I take these braces, I can also specify the positions also. In fact, means not everything should be in the same order. It can have in your own order. So, and you can give no matter what data type it will consider and it will give it. But if you are telling like two placeholders, so if you give one value, it will throw in error because you don't know what to give for the next one. Say if you have only one and if you want the same thing for both places, you give 0. Sir, why we are giving 0 means indexing in Python start from 0. So what are the values start from 0? So like that we can give. In the same fashion, not only this, we can also do the good formatting. So after coming here, even formatting also they made a lot of changes. So as it is difficult every time, they created something like this. You see? So in this formatting, you can see percentile, just percentile, sorry, flower braces if you give as it is. And colon in the values, you can also give. If I give colon, you can notice that. So the moment you give a colon, and after colon, if you give anything, that is like a formatting. If I give comma afterwards, you can see all commas after every 3 characters. If I give an underscore after every 3 characters underscore. So if I give a plus symbol before minus, so like that it is coming, right? So that is the beauty of new style formatting. I think like after seeing the new style formatting, you will never go back to the old style. So that is what many people did it. So in so Python 3, that new style formatting came. And not only this, there is, excuse me, so can you mute yourself? Yeah. And the new style, one more thing is that similar to the string.zfill, if I give after colon equal to 10 means, it will do like this. You see, means reserve 10 digits for me and like this. If I say 0 equal to 10, prepend with the zeros. Means it's like a left, right, center, right? L just, R just, center, same like that. But it will do like this. And in the same fashion, if you want like a left alignments or right alignments, you can do with it. So if you want like, any specific way, you can tell that. It will do in accordance. You see? So if you, the arrow will help you understand. Arrow is left side, so it is left align. Arrow is right side means right align. If you want at the center, you can do in the top. So if you want some fill characters also, you can do. So is it clear?
Uday, can you please go upper the Z fill?
Z fill.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
So can you repeat one more time this fill?
So the number whatever you are giving is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 8. Means 5 digits are there.
Okay.
But you told Z fill with 10 digits.
Okay.
Means if more the you reserve 10 digit space for me and you make me so with it. So and if you don't give any fill character, it will be just empty. But if you give any fill character as 0 or any alphabet or anything, it will replace that
Okay.
if the
So
number of digits are less.
okay. So here the 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. It's a total 5 number, and it is telling that fill with 10 character, right? So 5
Yes.
will be empty and 5 the number is as it is, correct?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, like all the things like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Sure. Similarly, here also same thing in terms of directions, and here also the fill character before it. So after colon itself, we can give a fill character and use it. So like that, we can do complicated things also very easily. So not only that, like if you go further in terms of formatting, so you can use like this: percentile B, percentile O, percentile X. You remember I showed in a whole style formatting. So you need to do percentile X, percentile O like that. But percentile B is not there at all. Whereas here, all these things are present. If we do formatting also, it works. And similarly, if I do, if I take the example of a math.py, right? You remember earlier we did. If I need to import math, that's how we use a library and we do it. So if you do for anything, like a simple formatting, if you do, it will do. So just printing and formatting. But if I go further, percentile F, percentile capital F, percentile G, hope you know the difference. Percentile F means it will ensure post decimal there was 6 digits. Whereas percentile D, it will try to round off to the nearest value. It doesn't matter like 2 digits or 3 digits or 4 digits. So like that. And similarly, hope you remember we did a percentile F. Like that percentile 9F means 9 digits were reserved for it and it will make use of it. You see in this case, 9 digits were reserved. So in this case, 9.3 means totally reserved 9 digits, but post decimal it should be only 3 digits. So hope you understood now. So like that, so it will work. And similarly, if you want to do like any operations like percentiles, whenever you're displaying some percentile values, you can do like percentile. Means any value percentile means. So it will multiply into 100 and it will give it. So if you just do percentile. So like this, very interesting things happen. If I give like one example, you see here. So this is a real world example. If I say name, age, salary, there are 3 values. I give 3 values. Now you see, if I execute, these 3 values were gone there. Did I ever tell what data type I want? No, it executed on its own. And similarly, not only this, I can go in a multi-line. With percentile, double quote strings. So we can go for multi-line strings, right? So for this multi-line string, I pass it 3 values, like a dot format. If I give, it will work. You see, whatever the way may be. So I can go and I can go ahead and give it, it will work. And similarly, when I am going, so I can give the data type or like one positions and all these things I can give. If you specify like the position, say I took this example, I didn't give anything. The default order gone. What if I say like 0, 1, 2? So because 0, 1, 2, right? It is starting. It is exactly working the same way. And the beauty is that I may or may not use all of them. Say I want to make always one only. I did it. It's up to us like how you want to do. What order you want to do. Say like I want to 2 first, next 1, next 0. So what are the way you give it will. So no matter what the data type and others. So that's the reason like it works like this. So one more extra thing is that we as every time executing this order is different, right? So we should know which is the order. Say like, this is 0th index, first index, second index. What if there are 10 or 15 values? It's very difficult every time, right? So then we can go for a labeling also. Means for these values, instead of numbers, I give some label like name, so some salary. So like that, I give the labels and I pass the values. You see, in this case, I am passing the values like this. So instead of like just values, I am giving name equal to Uday. So age equal to 99, salary equal to something. The same thing I label I use any number of times. So if the same label is outside, it will not cater. Only within the flower braces, it will treat like a label and get it. So going with the numbers is better or going with the labels is better? Obviously, going with the labels is the best, because when you go to any big thing also, it would be easy. So let me take you a very practical example. Say one real time. Let me go for a one real time example. In real time example, hope I have one customer message that like, hey, I want to first, before even going there, I want to print it. So based upon that, if I do like this, don't you know, so dear customer, your account ending with, so account last 4 digits was deducted some amount on transaction time. So don't you think this is a typical message you get after doing a shopping, right? Shopping cart. So how do you everyone get the same message, just value changes? How this are happening? Every time you get an email, the once you make a bank transaction or something happens. So how they are doing all of them? Same like this. They create a template and pass the values. So I created this template. Now I will pass the values. So what are the values I need to do, like a labels? Label doesn't mean that everything should be capital letters. Just for showing earlier, I showed like this. Customer is there. Here account is there. So here transaction time is there. Here transaction time. So these are labels. Why I am calling these as labels? Because they were in flower braces. If the same customer word is outside, it doesn't matter. You see, in this case, I passed 4 values like this. And you see the same word customer. So I will do like this outside also. Now you see what will happen. If I say dear customer, the what are the customer outside, it's coming as it is. But if it is like within the flower braces, it's a label. And what are you pass? Vijay Malia, your account lasting with something, is transaction amount so and so, is transaction time is something. So what are you give? It's coming. Is it clear? Yes, friends.
Yes.
So yes, this is what you need to learn. So don't you think this is the realest way? And in future, so I'm adding 2 more things. You can come back afterwards. There is something called as a dictionary. As you cannot pass each value again to make this, they're thinking like even this is also difficult. They want to oversimplify that. Assume that you want to do the same thing for a CSV file containing some 1,000 people information. For everyone, you want to send an email. Will you go to each of them and process and do? That is a difficult, right? So for that, we can create like a dictionary and do that. We will do slowly afterwards. For that, we need to, what are the values you have like this? You create like a dictionary, see? And instead of format, for the format, you need to pass like 2 asterisks. This is called as dictionary unpacking, which is a big word at this stage, but learn slowly, you will learn afterwards. And for the same thing, they created one more way. So like, for better doing. So what is this dictionary mapping does is that if you have like any dictionary, say like this, and if you do a percentile D, it will convert these values into like this, A equal to 1, B equal to 2, like that. So don't you think in the above also we did the same thing? A equal to B, so A equal to 1, B equal to 2, like that only. So when you do a dictionary and the 2 asterisks, it will indirectly convert like this. So one last thing is that for that itself, they told like, you don't want to stress this much writing like extra thing. See, Python people are very, very, helpful. Wherever they see a repeated task, they automate it. So why you want to do a format and take a dictionary and do it? So we have one more option for that, something called as format map. You can use that. And so it also exactly works. And in fact, this string dot format, we can also work like a format of this also. Till now you did string dot format, right? We can do the same thing with a format built-in function also. Both will work exactly in the same way. So both ways work. Hope you are aware now about the whole new style format. Just like to consolidate what we have learned in this real world example, like an illustration, I want to show in one shot. You see, so we have gone for different cases. In the first case, we have gone for old style formatting. Okay. Then we have gone for a old style formatting, but in a percentile 2 or 5.2, like that, in a better legibility. Then I have gone for a new style formatting. So I thought, like, too many values are there. I'm confusing. So I placed a numbers for better understanding, better readability. And numbers doesn't mean that everything should be used. I can use some of them or not. It's up to me. Then as every time numbers are big, it would be difficult. I can replace them with a labels and use a labels. Then I have gone for a dictionary, created these dictionaries and used it with a dictionary unpacking. Then, like, instead of using that, I used a format map. That is much better way. Now the last way, the way is about the F strings. This is like a game changer, I would say. So why it is called as a game changer? Just now I will tell, and we will come back on these two things. So your code will be much more easy if you write an F string. And among these three, if you ask me which one to choose, I would definitely say go for F strings, because F strings were introduced in Python 3.6, but they have a lot of say in it, because those were like very much fast compared to any other two. Okay, introduced in the Python 3.6, but they can do much better things. So now let me compare these three together in one shot. If you see old style formatting, you do a percentile followed by percentile and then braces. Old style formatting, new style formatting, and in F strings you don't even write dot format. You write a F before the string. That's it, and you do whatever you want. So how it actually works, sir? Let me give you example. Okay, if I say I have say per old style. In old style, what we do? Percentile, say percentile SI there, and I do percentile, and I pass like say Uday. Okay, and in new style you write like format of say Uday. Name is equal to Uday, right? Name is equal to Uday. That's how you do. So in F strings, you can do one more better shot. You need not do all these things outside. You know, you need to just do like an F before it. But it expects that variable should be defined first. Means you define outside. If you define that, all three will be exactly in the same way. So what F string expects is that the variable should be defined outside and we can use it from there. So you need not do anything extra. So if you see here, number is equal to something. I just do it F before, and like a label I use directly. And also not only that, we can also do some operations. In fact, so if I have an integer, right? So if I have an integer means what? I can do int operations. I can convert. See the built-in functions I am using. And you see in the above I have a name. Name is equal to the. I can just do the operations. Instead of just printing name, I can say like name dot upper, name dot lower. Means F strings will let you know to do multiple things with them. Say I have a number in the top. I can convert to a float and plus add 3. The same number I got something else. And similarly, not only that, same like in the new style, you can do the things here also. Formatting also after colon, Whatever the rules are there, exactly they work here. And similarly, the alignments. So what are you have seen? So left alignments, right alignments, all those alignments, you just do after column, same like that. Means you need not have again a variable and do format and do it. So everything became easy here. And if you want to convert them to a decimal format, octal or binary, you can just do like that. Column D, column B, column V, so and so. And similarly, if you want to work on, percentile F and others, say if I want to work on math module and do it, you observe that percentile F, percentile G means. So same like whatever you do in a new style, so much better way you can do here. So if I do here, so how I used to use old style, new style, so things changed a lot. And similarly, so if you want to work on like format specifier, so as I told you, how it works. Uh, in fact, if you want a small value, there is something called as a decimal module. So you can use a import decimal. Small values you can work with decimal module. And if you want to see like you want how much value, how much width, like that you can specify. So for you to better understand, I wrote in a labels like this. You see, you get it. So not only this, so one more interesting part is we can do into other kinds of things. Means if you want to like convert to a string like str, repr, so like that, there are some things we have here. So if you have something, say it has a ASCII characters, it has like non-ASCII, means like Greek and Latin is there. And if you see here, if you do like percentile yes or percentile d or percentile so and so, you can correspondingly see. So just string means you got it. Just REPR means you got it. Just ASCII means you got the ASCII values others and remaining like a Unicode characters you got it. And similarly, so you can do whatnot. So as EF strings and all these things. And one last thing, recently they came up with something called as F string assignments. So one last thing that I want to tell is on the F string assignments. This is very new. It was introduced in Python 3.8. Now it is like Python 3.11, right? So in Python 3.8, they introduced, after seeing the success, called as F string assignments. What is the difference, sir? So generally, whenever you do anything, the most common thing we do is like you create any variable, you print the variable, right? So okay, it is doing like this thing, markdown. Okay, you see, anytime when you have any variable, you just use it and you print it. For you to understand which variable is coming from where, so the most common way you do is like you print it, like language equal to language, like that you do, right, in general. So instead of that only you have percentile yes, which is old style. Next formatting is there, that is a new style. And the next one is you have is F string. So where you language equal to, you write within braces, you got it. This is also And the last one, the latest is called as F string assignment. So this is new. You see now what happens? You don't, if you are repeating the same twice, in that case you can use it. Say like I have one more example. If I have a number, I want to print it. Using F string and F string assignment only, I will tell you. I will get it. So means that in inside and outside, if you want the same thing to be done, in that case it works. Say if you want like in an ordinary F strings, if you want like number is equal to num, if you do, in that case you cannot do it. Means like if I have say number is equal to like this, in that case I cannot say number. So for the first one it will throw an error, but for the second I think it has something else, right? So once again, number is equal to, say I have something. If I try to do with the same thing like number, then it will throw an error. So if in the variable and in terms of printing both are same, in that cases only it will be useful. The beauty is like the code will be easy. If you want to have, if you have some value and if you want to do multiply and you want to see the result, divide and see the result. So in all these cases it would be easy. So based upon that only we have gone for the other thing. So hope with this I want to check again on the last things. So you see, you define the variables outside and just use it. Instead of just using, you can do an uppercase, lowercase, title case, and all these things and use. Hope you now understood what are all about these string formats and others. Hope it's clear.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, please.
Can you one more time elaborate the F assignment?
Yeah, F string assignment means say, okay, student count student count is equal to say 23. This is a variable you have.
Okay.
You know, for F strings we need to have variable defined outside and then we need to use, right?
Yes.
Generally, how you do if you want to print? So using F strings means how you do student count is, you write in braces student count. Do you agree?
Yes.
So this is fine. But the same thing if you want to do in a better way, you just do like this, right? Student count equal to. What is the difference between these two? Tell me.
Yes. Also,
You use the same variable in both sides, right?
yes.
In this case only, we can do a F string assignment. Means instead of you doing the same thing twice and writing the equal to, you write within this equal to.
Okay.
Now, did you understand?
Got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Any other doubt for anyone? If not, the last thing in the F string strings actually in totally strings is about the Unicode characters. So Unicode means you need not learn everything here, but like the main things. If you can focus, you'll understand. Unicode and these characters. What are these codes? How this works? If you see, okay, you'll understand. So first thing, you see here. Generally, English characters are like so 0 to 127. Means, sorry, you say there are only 26 characters, so upper and lower, but still on a keyboard, if you see, there were other characters also, right? So for all these are like common characters. So that is called as American Standard for Information and Standard Code for Information Interchange. They told like, so let's fix on some numbers because people who are developing the, CPUs and processor at the time, they decided like everyone should follow standards such that it would be easy for everyone. So that's why for every character, they gave some numbers. If you want to go further about the Unicode, you can check here. So ASCII Unicode, what is the difference means? ASCII you include what are is on the English keyboard. So apart from this English keyboard, every others are on Unicode. So there are like multiple things. So there is too much, not everything is needed for us. We are focused on two things called as, so str and repr. These are two built-in functions which we will focus on. What are these functions doing? How they can help us? Say if I work on some character, say ord of ord, by the name itself, it says gives the order, means like number. If you give a character, it will give the number. Say if I take like three characters, so A, B, C, it will give the numbers. Why it gives 65? If the same thing works in every system, every language, so Unicode is same. So similarly, if I give like a small things, alphabets, small alphabets will be like this. And similarly, if I give in a keyboard, we have even numbers also, right? Numbers also are treated as a characters, and those also have a position. And okay, so if you have any character, you get a position. If you have a character, it's a number. Number is a position. If you want both vice versa, that's where ORD and CHR come to picture. ORD will give a number, means Unicode number, if you have a character. CHR will give a character if you give a number. So that is a vice versa relations. Hope it's clear till now. So I told you, right, so this everything I'm using string assignments only. Did you see? I'm not repeating the same thing twice.
Yes.
Observe? Did you observe?
Yes.
So that's what handiness of this string assignments. If you want to check the characters at the 0th position and 127, it will be like that. Means not everything in the keyboard is for printing. So that's why some things you cannot see clearly. And similarly, if I go for say Unicode characters or something, right, how they work. So for you to better understand, so let me give you a small for loop. In Python, you use for loop like this, where say if you have some code for I in range of, you need not worry about what is the syntax, how it is working at this moment. Just see how I am doing. Okay, I'm creating a small for loop and I'm printing the numbers. Did you see I got numbers from 0 till all the values? 0 till 119. So same like wherever range is there, it will work like this. Now this time I want to do one more thing. Not only this, I want to do CHR of I. Because CHR, what it does, if you give a number, it will give the position character, right? And it is giving all the characters. But not all characters we can see. If we open in a text editor, you see here. So initial characters you cannot see. After that, don't you think you can recognize these characters, right? Numbers, alphabets, so small alphabets, lower alphabets, the symbols and others. Till 119 you got. If I go further also, I can get. Say, if I go for an example, which is something better. So if I go till 128, so you can get like all, ASCII codes. And similarly, if I go for a limit like 3000 to 3500, that's way more interesting. If you see like, in the text editor, you can see. So don't you recognize these are like Malayalam, so Tamil, Telugu, so Kannada, so these are the languages. So which are like more related to my mother tongue. But you can check similarly your languages in these ranges. You go on a limit, so and do it. Sir, how much number I can go and check like that? There is a limit for that also. That is called as, if you go for the sys module. Of course, we will discuss about these modules afterwards. The only use case here is max Unicode. Means you can ask for any character, but not beyond this limit. If you ask for anything, let's say, what are the number I there in the top right? I give that number. If I give that number, I get it. And if I say the same number plus 1 means what? Means 12, and it will throw an error. Means only till that only we can define. What is that language means you should see at the time. What all things are there and so and so. But not everything is needed for you. Hope you understood with this. And yeah, so and one last thing is about byte arrays. You seldom use byte arrays, to be frank. You will very rarely use it. But just be aware that there are something called as a byte array strings. Byte array string is very simple. If you have like an ordinary string, I take a string and I print it, right? I take the string and I print it. It's like an ordinary string. It's a till now whatever you see, this is an ordinary string. I'm saying. But the problem with this ordinary string is that if you generally you do like all kinds of things. If you want to check for any character, if you give a position, it will give indexing, slicing. That's what, right? First thing we have seen is about indexing. Indexing. So next thing we have seen is about slicing, and also we can do the string operations. String operations means we can find based upon a position. If you give a substring, it will tell which position it is there. These are all typical operations we can do. But if you are taking a substring and if you want to replace, means tomorrow will be ours. I want to replace this will with is. So I want to take a path and I want to replace it. That is not possible. So we should be noting that. So strings are immutable. Now the word comes immutable means what? We cannot change. So, but like if you really want, you can print something like this, or assign this to a new variable and do it, or even to the same variable you can overwrite, but you cannot edit within the string. So in place changes were not supported. That's what you need to understand. So ordinary strings are immutable, whereas byte array strings are mutable. That's the only difference. Whenever you want like a mutable strings, you can go for byte array. So in my career, I never went to, but if you have an opportunity, you can try. So the only difference is you pass to this byte array string, that's it. If you pass on, it will take each character and store in its ASCII numbers. So instead of like storing like a string, it will store like a list. So that's what this byte array does, the extra thing. So if you do like this, see every time it will call as a byte array, byte array, byte array. You see byte array of string. Instead of just showing like a string in quotes, it will show every time byte array. So if you see tomorrow is hours, you have converted. So that is the difference between these two. That's the only thing. Now a small assignment for you. For that only I gave this thing. The assignment is onto the Caesar cipher. If you know Caesar cipher means if you have any alphabets, so we will replace with the next third character. So if you just go to any online Caesar cipher tool, you will understand it. So Caesar used to be, so before they are Greeks, if they want to communicate within the European, almost everyone has the same characters, but it is a different language. So that's why for better understanding and communicating between themselves, for any word, they will make it like meaningless. Means, if you place a numbers for each of the characters, say only, lower cases or only uppercase you are taking, assume like that, and you do it. So every character, say A is there, it will be replaced by the next third, which is D. So E is there, it will replace by H. So say any good name will be replaced like this. So for that, you take a string in runtime and try to process it. For this, you need to understand what is an ORD, what is CHR, and what is a percentile. Means whenever a Z is there, you need to replace by the next third means again with C only, right? You need to know how to use the remainder operation. So with these things, I would recommend you to go through that and do it. So that's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye.